Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in the name of Kwizda Agro to the first Trico forestry campus. And this was the first big trap for me, because I learned at home, I learned Trico, because I forgot online we said it's Trico. And it's so easy. It's so, the Eselsbrücke, it's so easy. You have to think of trees, 2E, but in German it's, and I thought I have to be cool and say Trico. It's Trico, because it's for trees, you know? That's what we all have to learn those days. Okay, we are welcome to this wonderful event here in Kitzbühel. It's raining cats and dogs outside. That's because we don't want that the beautiful landscape outside distracts you. We want you to have your here on the stage on board. My name is, I have to introduce myself a little bit. My name is Andreas Yeager. I'm worldwide known here in Austria. To be honest, I'm a climatologist, climate expert and meteorologist. I served for many years in Austrian national television as a weatherman, also on radio. So that's a long time ago. Nowadays, I'm still a TV presenter in Austria, and I'm presenting overall documentaries about climate change, sometimes also other science topics. Recently, I wrote a book about the climate change in the Alps. And I wrote a tiny chapter about the meaning of the forests. What can the forests do for us? How can they help us dealing with the climate crisis? And there are three ways they can do it. I wrote in my book. I hope I'm right. No, I am. I know I'm right. Yeah. The first way is, I don't know if you're aware of this, but the building stock of the world is doubling in the next 40 years. Till 2060, in every month, we build a city like Manhattan for 40 years every month. It will double, mainly, of course, not the buildings here in beautiful Kitzbühel or in Austria or in Europe, but in Asia or Africa, where people are growing. So that's a big problem, because nowadays we build our buildings, our infrastructure, mostly of concrete and steel, and this produces a lot of carbon dioxide, of course. And the idea is, if we change this from concrete and steel to wood, to timber, then we can turn a source of carbon dioxide into a sink of carbon dioxide. That's the main idea. We don't know if we have enough timber. That's your problem, not mine. But if we have it, we can make out of construction, we can make a sink. That's the first. The second way the forest can help us is, second way is pretty new. It's biochar. It's the good old charcoal. The charcoal we know for thousands of years. Yeah? If charcoal is mainly poor carbon, which does nothing. You only can destroy it with fire. Without fire, you can swallow it. It doesn't harm you. So we put this charcoal and the biochar into the soil and build up the soil again. So if you build up, you have to think about it. If you lose soil, you always emit CO2. If you build up soil, you always suck CO2 out of the air. So that's also an effective sink. And the third way, of course you all know it, is that the forests store carbon. That's what they do. And that's why, and that's I wrote in my book, we need afforestation and reforestation. And that's why I'm really glad and honored to be here to accompany you on this program these days, because this is a wonderful meeting. I hope we can learn a lot. So what can you expect? This campus is the first of its kind in Europe. We want to be a sort of a platform. Interdisciplinarity, we want to bring the relevant stakeholders together, politics, forestry, timber industry, science. The experts come from all over Europe and from North America, namely US and Canada. As the term campus already expresses, the event stands for learning, discussing and sharing experiences. We want to learn from each other. We want to discuss, we want to listen and hear. So maybe we have some different point of views. That's absolutely normal, but we have to find common ground. That's what we need to do. We want to change the world. So I recommend these two or 3 days. The 2 L's, listen and learn. Listen and learn. Don't try to missionary other people. Listen and learn. That's the most important thing. So the motto of this campus is grow together. That's not only in a forestry meaning, it also means team spirit. You know, as individuals, we can improve a lot. But if we want to change the world, and that's what we have to do, we can only have a change if we stand together, stick together, and work on this change together. So we look forward to you can look forward to a fully packed program full of keynotes, lectures, panel discussions, inspirational journeys, and of course a lot of time to network and to exchange. That's also very important. If you need some more information, you will find everything on our homepage, www.event.trico-repellent.com. So this was my introduction, and now it's a great pleasure to me to introduce your hosts right now, Johannes Kwizda and Ronald Hamedl. Johannes Kwizda is the member of the executive board of Kwizda, and Ronald Hamedl is managing director of Kwizda Agro. And now please give a warm welcome for the opening speech of Johannes Kwizda.
Thank you, Mr. Yeager. Dear ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your warm and welcoming introduction. I'm very pleased that so many people have found their way to Kitzbühel and are taking part in the Trico Forestry Campus. Kwizda Agro hosts this event to discuss with you challenges of sustainable reforestation, climate-fit forests, and tension fields in forestry. Because in forestry, there are so many groups with different interests and ideas. The location here in Tyrol could not better be chosen to discuss sustainable forest development with different stakeholders in forestry from different countries, from North America and Europe. Because in Kitzbühel, as well as in other parts of the world, the forests fulfill numerous tasks, but maybe here in Kitzbühel a little bit more than in other parts of the world. It is a protective forest against avalanches, a commercial forest for the timber industry, a resource for renewable energy, a recreation area for people, an important air and water filter, an essential part of tourism and sports in Austria, an income for farmers and foresters, and last but not least, a habitat for numerous plants and animals, especially wild animals. It is therefore very fitting that the chamois is the heraldic animal of Kitzbühel. The aim of Trico Forestry Campus is to discuss the measures and strategies to ensure that forests can fulfill all those tasks mentioned. And one of the most important issues is, of course, the tension field of deer and forest management. These two issues are important topics of today's and tomorrow's panels and discussions. A second topic will be who owns the forests and who is responsible for reforestation, afforestation, and forestry in general. Like in most regions of Austria, the forests here in Kitzbühel are in the ownership of mostly families. In Austria, about 75%, and in Kitzbühel, around 2/3. Family ownership is the basis of sustainable thinking and sustainable forestry. Kwizda and Kwizda Agro, as family-owned companies, are therefore perfect partners for forest owners in Austria, but also worldwide. We understand the core of family-based business and acting. For families, sustainability does not just mean doing the business economically, ecologically, and socially. At the center of the thinking of family-run companies is the goal of doing business in the way that also future generations will find at least the similar conditions, and at best even better conditions than the current one. This means that the trees we plant today are planted and obtained for the descendants of the family and not for the current generation. It means that tomorrow is more important than today. Forests are facing challenges not only tomorrow, but already today. They are highly in risk because of climate change. To tell you just two examples, the bark beetles and wildfires cause huge calamities all over Austria. This is a huge risk not only for the forests itself, but also for the environment and, because of the climate change, for humanity in general. Without forests, we won't be able to solve the current and the coming challenges. It is our responsibility, therefore, to reforest and to successfully raise climate-fit forests. With the TRICO Forestry Campus, we bring together the family of stakeholders around forestry to discuss and find ideas to achieve this. We support and build a network of experts to connect their ideas. And we hope that the TRICO Forestry Campus is to you all what the soil is to trees. A perfect habitat to connect to each other, the fundament of connections to share information, and a fruitful ground to discuss common ideas. As you can see, I'm really looking forward to hear the insights and ideas of Susan Simmert, who will give us interesting talking points for the next days and important impulses for our common dialogue. I'm also looking forward to speak with each of you to discuss ideas around forestry and to exchange ideas and concepts for future fit forests in North America, in Europe, in Austria, and here in Kitzbühel. Forests, with their various tasks, are not just of huge importance in our fight against climate change, and as a habitat, energy resource, and protection forest, but they are an essential part for the beauty of Austria. Thank you very much. And now I would like to ask Ronald Hamedl for his introductory words. Ronald, please.
Thank you very much, Johannes. Ladies and gentlemen, dear partners and friends and dear experts. I would like to say thank you for coming to Kitzbühel and extend a really warm welcome to all of you. Although not everybody is here yet or so, like we just heard or so, like that some of our distribution partners are still stuck in Salzburg and Munich, but we're really trying hard to get them over here for the dinner at least, yeah? I'm very happy to see some familiar faces already, yeah, but more excited that I see many new faces. And as Johannes already said, I'm also looking forward to interact with you, to get your ideas, to get your best practices from your country and your expertise on forestry and forest management. But what is even more important is that we keep this conversation and the dialogue running after this event. Yeah? This is also why we called this event a campus. Yeah? We want to discuss, network, and exchange ideas here and now, but also, similarly to an alumni club, maintain contact and dialogue after this event. This is very important to me, and this is even more important for Kwizda Agro. Because our aim, our objectives when we do research is to continuously listen to and learn from nature, and to find, together with you, and you are a very important part of this network, solution which help farmers, foresters, and gardeners to protect their fields, their forests, and their garden. But we also know that it needs more than a single product or a concept or a measure to achieve resilient and climate-fit forests. Therefore, we thrive really for solutions which contribute to the sustainable forestry. At Kwizda Agro, we follow the motto, from nature for nature. So the main focus of our research is to really answer the following questions. How can we get the know-how? How can we derive the know-how from nature into formulations, into products which we can then give back to nature to make a more sustainable agriculture and forestry possible? And most importantly is that we also maintain an environment which is able to provide for human food, raw materials, and energies. One of these products gives its name to the forest campus here. It's called Trico. It contains our first biological active ingredient and was the spark, the light, the spearhead for establishing our business unit New Technology. This business unit develops and brings biological plant protection products to market. And the story how we develop Trico shows best how we approach research and what this is all about. An employee of Kwizda Agro, who happened to be a hunter, asked himself, why does his grandfather and father put sheep wool around trees to save them from browsing of deer? Some experts helped him to understand and try to answer the questions and figure out how to get this strategy of nature into a single product. And they really found out that it's the fat in the sheep wool that keeps the deer away. And they also tried out several formulations until Trico was born as a product, a highly efficient, effective, and long-lasting deer repellent. Nowadays, we produced almost 1.2 million liters and kilograms of Trico in our plant in Leobendorf. And Trico has become the standard and also an essential part of reforestation in 21 countries in Europe, but also now in North America. We are happy that we have made and managed this leap to North America. Especially in the United States and Canada, Trico can be a game changer. First, there have been dramatic wildfires and calamities in some parts of Northern America. And reforestation and fast reforestation is really vital to restore these destructed environments. Secondly, there are some aspects that speak even more in favor of the use of repellents. The forest and thus the reforestation areas are significantly larger, and treatment of plants therefore takes more time. And it takes solutions that provide protection of the individual trees for as long as possible. Trico only needs to be applied once a year. And this is the essential difference to other repellents, which are hardly used due to the necessary frequent application. Long story short, with the fat of European sheep, we can contribute to save forests in Europe and North America. The story shows the main ideas of our new technology unit in which we develop biological products for agriculture and forestry. Firstly, it's about saving the environment isn't a one-man show. It needs many players, it needs networks, it needs partners to really develop these ideas and concepts. At Kwizda Agro, we are proud to have a broad network based on our long history of international expert companies and research institutes we work together with. Secondly, we use our large know-how in formulation development and distribution to make the product available to farmers and to foresters. And thirdly, we support the uses of our products with expertise and provide guidance and advice to achieve a sustainable forestation and forestry. And this third point represents what the Trico Forestry Campus is really about, bringing together ideas and best practices to shape a basis for an integrated forest management. This is an aspect that we would like to bring into the discussion In agriculture, there's this concept of the integrated crop production. Before applying any crop protection products, a number of other measures needs to be taken that contribute to the health of the plants and the optimal development. Therefore, we want to discuss possible principles of good forestry practice to keep our environmental footprint as small as possible while maintaining productivity of our environments. Because that is one of the goals of the Trico Forestry Campus. Discuss different measures and ideas and combine them into a holistic picture. just as one individual cannot save the environment and climate, it is also not a single measure or product that can be used to achieve successful reforestation and climate-friendly forests. We are aware that we cannot achieve this with this one event, but we want to contribute to the exchange and dialogue, as well as to the networking of different stakeholders. From our point of view, this is the basis for establishing a competition of ideas over the next few years, which hopefully will lead to concrete measures and projects. So we follow the motto of Trico Forestry Campus. Let's grow together. Andreas, thank you very much for continuing guiding us through the event, and I wish all of you a very enjoyable and pleasant event. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Johannes Kwizda and Ronald Hamedl. In the next few days, we have plenty of opportunities to exchange ideas and to get to know each other.